Hello, you filthy savages. It's your ferocious host with the most odds to be the savage, and I'm back with another reaction video. Today I will react to opponents before and after fighting Manny Pacquiao. This is gonna be some hell of a humble shit. Let's jump right in.
In boxing, looks can be deceiving.
Yes, they can. Go, Andy Ruiz.
Those fighters who have more bite than bark.
Fat nigga proud.
And those who look much less dangerous at the weigh-in than when that first punch hits home.
Ooh. Bitch.
And alongside Ruiz Jr., Golovkin, and many more, very few fit this persona quite like the man who can be considered today's most successful active fighter, Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. A relatively small, kind, and humble Filipino fighter whose fight night performances bring much more than meets the eye.
Ooh.
Here, contrasting the humble and the arrogant, we look at some of Pacquiao's opponents from the past, around the time that he was, arguably, at both his physical and commercial prime. All of which, rightly so, believed that they could beat the 8-weight world champion.
I think he has all the tools it takes to beat a guy like Manny Pacquiao.
Say what you want about Oscar De La Hoya, but he put Manny Pacquiao and Floyd over. That's one thing I have to say. He did put them motherfuckers over, because beating him, he used to be the king. He used to be the pay-per-view man.
Ever a time for Hatton to be able to beat Pacquiao, he'll be in this fight.
In the same performances that lead to Manny becoming one of boxing's most respected figures of all time.
Floyd outclasses you, Manny destroys you.
Please click thumbs up, subscribe, and press the bell button if you're new to the channel as we look at before and after fighting Manny Pacquiao. Welcome to a Motivedia presentation.
Woo, woo. I would never want that man in front of me.
First up, we go back 11 years to a night billed as the dream match. Pacquiao versus De La Hoya.
I just have to make sure Pacquiao, when he comes in with his explosive style and his hard punches, I have to make sure I have my hands up.
Even then, Manny was considered the world's #1 pound-for-pound fighter. However, many pundits speculated that the size and reach difference was simply too great.
My motivation has been his skills. My motivation has been his youth.
And whilst there was little, if any, trash talk, Oscar told news stations that he and his team were unbeatable.
Protect yourself at all times.
You thought, nigga, you thought.
After being made the betting underdog, Manny exposed Oscar's age on the night in one of the best displays of his career.
What I saw was a beatdown. I saw Oscar De La Hoya be completely dismantled. I think this tremendously damaged his legacy.
I just couldn't pull the trigger. I was gun shy.
Were you hurt?
And when he says shit like that, gun shy, can't pull the trigger, that's what's called losing. After you hit 30, you lose elasticity. You know, your movement, your fluid movement, your speed and shit. That starts to go downhill.
Never. Just emotionally.
Has a lot of energy. That was very difficult.
We didn't know him to be what he was and what he became after that. Were you shocked in that? I mean, we were shocked.
Yes.
But were you shocked too?
I was shocked for about 2 years.
Next, 6 months later, a showdown with Britain's beloved brawler, Ricky Hatton.
Woo.
18 months after the Hitman's loss to Mayweather, he'd agreed to jump straight back in at the deep end. And labeling Pacquiao as one-dimensional, he launched a more verbal approach during the build-up.
Nigga, you one-dimensional. All you do is fucking come forward with that bulldog style.
Just give him something to spin off onto.
Got a feeling Ricky Hatton's going to pull it off. There's ever a time for Hatton to be able to beat Pacquiao, he'll be in this fight.
One that, come fight night, didn't bode too well. Over in brutal fashion with a picture-perfect punch.
Oh, Jesus.
A devastating loss that ultimately led to Hatton's retirement.
So that man did win, but I mean, when a punch lands like that so early on and that, you know, A lot of ifs and buts, but that's boxing. One punch, that's all it's.
You know, he makes jokes about it today.
Another 6 months on.
He tried to.
And
I
yet
think
another Hall
he
of
had like
Fame
suicidal
fighter
thoughts
stepped
or tried to
forward.
kill himself.
Miguel Cotto,
God
a
bless
Puerto
the
Rican
man.
with just one loss to his name at the time.
Did he just pronounce Miguel Cotto? It's Cotto.
Sure, I'm going to beat Manny. I'm the strongest boxer of us. I'm pretty smart.
In a build-up void of arrogance or brashness, Cotto did, however, expect to be able to overpower Pacquiao, just like the rest.
He taught all these
carrying
motherfuckers
his
a
power
lesson.
into the late rounds, Pacquiao managed a stoppage in the 12th, making him the first 7-weight world champion in history.
Jesus. The ref talking about you ain't need to take that shit, big fella. You okay?
To fight the big name, I'm always available, and Manny is one of the best boxers we have all time.
Respect.
Early 2010, and this time it was the turn of Josh Clottey, a Ghanaian fighter who, funnily enough, also returned to the ring earlier this year, now aged 41.
I'm happy that he gives me the opportunity. Because if Manny Pacquiao
this
says
blood diamond looking motherfucker,
it's not gonna happen. You see, so the friendship dies when you get to the ring. After the fight, the friendship come back. I know what I'm going to face, and I know who I'm going to face. It's not gonna be an easy fight for all of us at all.
Another matchup which lacked
all you did was cover up.
Between two
I think Pacquiao hit this nigga with a double punch, like wow.
Than the moments right before the opening bell of a Manny Pacquiao fight.
On the night, however, Pacquiao pulled off a shutout performance, not losing a step.
What an amazing combination puncher this man is.
I respect him, and he's the best pound-for-pound fighter. Everybody I fought, I don't think I lost. I lost to Manny Pacquiao. He's very, very fast.
Contrastingly, at the back end of the year, Pacquiao's second attempt at negotiations with Mayweather had broken down. Cue the arrival of a much less humble and popular opponent, the infamous Antonio Margarito.
Ooh, this bitch ass nigga.
We're gonna have to beat him. Fred Roach is scared right now. Fred Roach is scared that
this nigga almost killed
Somewhat
you.
of a bittersweet victory for the smaller and more humble man.
Might be able to pull off what would be a spectacular stoppage early here. He's really piling it on.
Pacquiao took it easy
in this fourth round.
Manny mauled the Mexican fighter over 12 rounds. And there truly couldn't have been a more fitting occasion for Pacquiao, now the octuple champion, to reach boxing's greatest accolade.
We knew Manny was very fast, and we were going good until I got cut, and then that's when the problems started coming.
Next, 11 months after Manny's knockout loss to Marquez in late 2012, he returned to face Brandon Rios, also trained under Robert Garcia in California.
You know what? To me, I think he's scared, and Freddie Roach is scared. I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to cancel the fight, saying that I hurt my hand or something, just because he's scared.
After the first
look, hold on, look at this nigga face.
Saying that I hurt my
He know that young bull wild, and he having flashbacks of himself right now. He like, fuck.
Or something, just because he's scared.
After the first clash of camps in the Margarito fight, it meant that the beef this time around was more about the trainers than the fighters themselves. Yet in the same clinical fashion...
Was that Freddie Roach? No, that wasn't Freddie Roach.
Yet in the same clinical fashion, Pacquiao proved too fast and too active, putting a second L on Rios' resume.
Biatch!
It hurt me bad because I worked my ass off so hard. 5 months in the gym, training.
Get your ass whipped.
I look at all the shit I was saying, I shouldn't be saying that shit. No, I fought one relation.
Another year on, and another unbeaten fighter. This time, the smart, fast New York native, Chris Algieri.
After I beat Manny, I'll have a lot more pull and a lot more juice to be able to negotiate.
A win, but by knocking Manny Pacquiao out in China, right next to his hometown.
I mean, that's
it's hard to say what would happen after that, but that would either way, my career is going to be catapulted into another stratosphere after this fight. So
humble and respectful, he entered the fight with nothing but praise for
Life
Pacquiao.
is not a movie, kid.
Said, if he doesn't want to punch, I will create an action. If he does punch, I'll count.
By Pacquiao stuns Algieri.
Oh!
Praise that he's continued to preach
Knocked him out like
exponentially
6 times in this
throughout the
fight.
Filipino's ongoing career.
Yeah,
Savvy veteran with 65 fights, and he knows exactly how his style works.
Even to today, 6 years on, where he expects him to overwhelm Keith Thurman in a
I can't wait for this fight. I ain't buying this shit.
Less than 3 years
But
ago,
I'ma watch it.
Jesse Vargas also came in thinking he had the tools to beat a now aging version of Manny. Expecting to overwhelm Pacquiao to avenge the losses of Barrera and Morales, putting himself as top rank's hottest asset.
Now it's my time. You know, I planned this as a kid. I said I wanted to take him out, and now I get the opportunity to do so, and I will. After beating Manny Pacquiao on November 5th, I will be their top dog, their top guy. You know, I mean, they're going to push me from then on.
Following the pattern, Vargas believed his speed and size would be too much, though just like the rest, Pacquiao dropped him in the second to win comfortably across all 3 scorecards.
And new WBO welterweight champion of the world.
Tried my best. You know,
This
I
Jeff
promised
Horn
to come
fight
back
should be
stronger,
on there, but
I tried
he
looking for the
lost.
big I tried connecting with the big shots. I mean, I threw more punches than Manny, so I was looking for the win.
And whilst most believe that yet another unfair decision loss was the end of the road for Manny,
This bitch ass.
it instead sparked the desire for one last rise to the top. And that rise started with arguably the biggest contrast of the lot.
I mean, stuff if y'all think I'm about to lose the Manny Pacquiao, man.
Oh, Adrian Broner.
The loud and outspoken trash talker from Cincinnati, Adrian the Problem
Oh,
Broner.
shit.
He ain't fighting Floyd.
Absolutely, let me ask you
He
this.
fighting me.
But do you think...
About to beat your ass,
How
man. You
about
worry
this?
about Floyd. He already beat you, brother.
Despite being
already beat
unable
you,
to
brother.
put him away, Pacquiao stalked the American right to the final bell.
Hey, you know, somebody was coming up to my job talking about
Just like
Broner gonna win. I'm
Broner
like, you
believed he
fucked
had
up
won
in the head.
by
And I
making
used to like
Manny
Broner.
miss and hitting him clean.
I beat him. Everybody out there know I beat him. Everybody out there know I beat him.
It seemed as though you couldn't get...
That nigga drunk.
Against me. So I already ain't got a fair shake talking to you.
The noise from the
You
crowd,
drunk,
however,
nigga.
spoke volumes
drunk.
as onlookers
You're drunk.
saw a very
That's what I
different
would've told
fight.
that
Thank the whole hood who came out here. I love y'all. I did this for the hood. Y'all know I beat that boy.
Whilst the majority now stand in awe of Pacquiao's ability to fight so
fuck outta here.
competitively into his later years, none are more understanding of just how capable the Filipino is than those who witnessed his scintillating best. And at a time when every fight is make or break, Manny now prepares for another brash, confident American.
Keith, one-time Thurman, does not just beat Manny Pacquiao, does knock out Manny Pacquiao.
Hoping to put another incredible
They gonna
tally
knock this
on a
motherfucker
truly
out, and I can't
remarkable
wait.
career.
Pacquiao's gonna knock this nigga silly. Check the description box down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my gaming channel, WEATHERSBY the Savage, the ferocious host with the most, is signing off.